Have you ever asked a Chinese friend for help and they said things like, "Oh, let me think about it. Maybe next time." Or, "Oh, we will see." But then, next time never comes. It's not that they forgot. They just didn't want to say no directly. In Chinese culture, refusing someone is not simply rejecting a request. It's rejecting a relationship. So, instead of saying no, people choose a softer, more indirect way of expressing it. Today, let's explore why Chinese people rarely say no, and what they actually mean when they don't say it. Hello everyone, I'm that girl in China. Today, let's explore why Chinese people rarely say no. To understand this, you have to understand a key concept in Chinese culture, 面子. In English, we talk about saving face or losing face. But in China, face is almost like an invisible social currency. It's about pride, dignity, and social respect. If you say no directly, you might make the other person lose face, especially in public. Imagine your boss asks, "Can you stay late tonight?" And you reply, "No, I don't want to." Even if you are being honest, it sounds cold and disrespectful. So instead, a Chinese person might say, "I'll try my best," or "Let me say what I can do." That way, they protect both people's face, the other person's and their own. In Western cultures, communication is usually task-based. You focus on solving the problem directly, yes or no, can or can't. But in Chinese culture, communication is relationship-based. The goal is not just to complete the task, but to maintain harmony. We call this 关系, relationships or connections. For example, if your colleague asks you for a favor that's inconvenient, you might still agree, not because you want to, but because you want to preserve the relationship, 关系. It's a cultural instinct. Don't break the harmony. Don't make people uncomfortable. So instead of no, you will hear things like, "Let's talk about it later. I'll think about it." Or maybe next week. These are soft refusals, polite ways to say no without actually saying it. Even the Chinese language itself encourages indirectness. Unlike English, which values clarity and logic, Chinese prefers context and tone. Take this sentence for example. 我再看看吧. I will take another look. To a foreigner, it sounds like maybe later. But to a Chinese person, it clearly means no. Another one. 下次吧. Next time. There is no next time. These phrases are like cultural codes. You have to listen between the lines. Now, in Western culture, being direct is seen as a sign of honesty and confidence. If you say no, people appreciate your clarity. But in Chinese culture, being too direct can sound rude or selfish. For example, saying no, "I'm busy," may sound blunt. Instead, people say, "I'd love to, but I already have something planned." Same meaning, just softer, more socially acceptable. So when East meets West, misunderstandings happen. Westerners might think Chinese people are not clear or not reliable, but really, they're just trying to be polite. In China, saying no is not about honesty. It's about kindness. It means, I care about your feelings more than my own convenience. It's a kind of emotional intelligence, knowing when to stay silent, when to smile. and when to say maybe, even though you mean no. But of course, this has a cost too. Sometimes things become unclear and people end up guessing each other's real thoughts. That's why you will often hear Chinese people communicate with their hearts, not just their words. So, next time a Chinese friend tells you, let's talk about it later, don't wait too long. It probably means no. But remember, they're not trying to deceive you. They're trying to be gentle because in China, a soft no is something the kindest answer of all. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. I'm that girl in China.